I've been in a consistent calorie deficit for 160 days. I'm gonna give you some tips on what to expect when in a deficit that long and how to handle some humps you might have to get over. First, if you're coming from a high body fat percentage, as you lose body fat, even though you're in a caloric deficit, you have less body fat on you, your hormones regulate better, and you feel like you have more energy. Now, this does hit a hard and steep plateau when you get down to below 17% body fat, where the calorie deficit is actually causing you to have less energy. Calories, unit for energy, less calories, less energy. But I'm just around 17% body fat, and I have experienced a little bit of an energy dip, mental fog, things like that from being in a deficit for this long. But that's the one thing that people usually don't tell you about is when you're trying to get to that goal weight, trying to get to how you want to look. It feels great while you're losing weight, and then you kind of hit a plateau of decreased energy at some point. So going for half a year straight in a caloric deficit might not be the easiest thing, and coming out of it for a few weeks and then going back into it might be best. But the biggest thing for those few weeks is you can't be overeating and binging. You can't lose the progress you put on. You want to be maintaining or in a slight deficit. You just don't want to be in as steep of a deficit as you were before. Right about now is where I'm going to be introducing more calories. So I'll probably bump up my calories by 200 a week until I'm just around maintenance, maybe a little bit lower. And I'll just stay there for probably a month, 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And then after that, I'm going to get right back into it. I'm going to cut back down. The goal is that I don't want to see the scale move too much. Yes, I'll be retaining more water and glycogen, so I'll see a few pounds raise on the scale. But I don't want to be dipping well into a higher weight than I am right now. I think the biggest reason that I'm going to be doing this is just to get a little more mental clarity and just a little bit more like, I don't know. I've been in a deficit for a really long time, 6 months. So I think it's time to come off of it a little bit and then dip back into it later on. I look way better, so I'm happy with that, but there's always work to be done. Have a good day.